Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. The first face-to-face, and actually I have my channel up behind me here on my big screen. This is the first face-to-face I have done in over a year, the last one being when I talked about the Benoit tragedy in the 10th anniversary. So I figured it's been a long time, been a way too long. I'm going to start trying to upload more often for you guys, so I hope that people are more interested in this channel than ever before. But there's been something that's been bothering me, right? There's a new thing, kind of new, it's been out for a couple years, but it hasn't really caught on as much. A little thing called 4K. Ultra high definition. I finally invested in it, got a 4K, excuse me, a 4K Samsung 40-inch TV last year at Black Friday, got 4K HDMI cables. My Xbox One S is a 4K player, so I didn't have to spend any extra money for the player, so that was a win-win to buy an Xbox. And I got some 4K movies, and in fact I've been really growing my collection as of late. So there was two reasons I wanted to make this video. Number one, I wanted to share my collection with you guys. I know there's a lot of you out there that are movie people, movie buffs, such as myself. So I figured, hey, why not share my collection with you guys? Because I'm pretty proud of my collection. I think I'm doing okay. It's not an insanely big collection, you know? I buy them here and there, but there's the main reason why my collection isn't as bigger than it is because a lot of 4Ks are way overpriced. It's a newer technology, they're going to gouge you on the prices, it's to be expected, but once in a while you can find pretty good deals, and pretty much every one of these I bought was either A, I really wanted the movie and paid the outrageous price, or B, I got them for good deals. So without further ado, we're going to go into this. But one thing that's been bothering me about this, and I wanted to kind of explain, is a lot of people have asked online, whether it be here on YouTube, reviews on Amazon, on Blu-Ray.com, asking what is the difference between a standard Blu-ray and a 4K ultra high definition Blu-ray. And I've never been able to really get anybody to say outright what the difference is. Nobody really seems to know. So I invested in 4K myself instead of waiting and waiting and waiting for somebody to finally come out with an actual explanation. And I found out myself what the fuck the difference is. Excuse my language, but it's really not complex, people. The thing that really cracks me up is that on these movies, it actually says on some of these that it's 4 times sharper than Blu-ray. So it's literally telling you that it's a sharper picture, which is exactly what it is. And when I first got the movies, I first got my couple first 4Ks and popped them in, I was misinformed as well. So I wasn't 100% sure what 4K was. I'm like, okay, it's 4 times sharper, but is it really worth the price? Now, this is kind of up for debate. People can say one thing or another. Me personally, I think it's worth it because I'm a movie buff. I absolutely love movies. I'm a huge fanatic of film. So for me, it's worth that little extra crispiness, if you will, in the picture, whereas somebody that's more of a what you would call a casual movie fan really won't need it. You know, I've had a lot of people ask me what 4K is and if it's worth it, and I've told plenty of people, if you don't care about ultimate what do you call it, crispiness, then 4K is not something you really need to invest in. So if you want a straight answer, long story short, I'm kind of being long-winded here, I apologize. Long story short, it makes the picture cleaner and sharper. It's not going to be the same great jump ahead that we had back with DVD to Blu-ray. That was a huge difference in picture quality, sound, etc. Whereas the jump from Blu-ray to 4K is not huge. It's just a cleaner, crisper looking experience. Though, like I said, unless you're a real huge movie fanatic, you would be fine staying with standard Blu-ray. I just preferred to get 4K myself. So with that out of the way, I want to show you guys my collection, and I'll give you guys some reviews on them if I'm able to. So first off, I wanted to start with one of the more special ones in the collection. This is the Men in Black trilogy. Comes with 1, 2, and 3 of Men in Black. It's pretty cool. It slides out here like this. These are, of course, 4K. Show you these in order. So here you have the first movie, for the first movie, which obviously is the best in my opinion, though I think all three of them are really good, including the third. Inside, there you have the 4K disc. Now, the thing about it is that I haven't watched all of these on 4K yet. I've only watched the first movie. Let me brighten up my screen here. I haven't seen them all on 4K yet, so I can't speak for them all, but the first movie looks really good on 4K. Like I said, the whole point of 4K is to clean up the graininess of the movie. It's to make the movie look better. There you go. Oh, sorry, I'm having a moment. It's supposed to clean it up, and this movie I believe came out in 1998. Don't hurt me if maybe 97, 98, give or take, same shit. It came out in the late 90s, so there has been plenty of room for improvements, and Men in Black looks really good. So if you want a cleaner, crisper version than what the standard Blu-ray gives you, it's worth it. I think this runs roughly around $40, which, considering that you get 3 4K movies, is actually a pretty reasonable deal. I actually got this as a gift from my dad, so thanks, Dad, if you ever happen to watch this. Next up is one of my prized possessions, is none other than The Dark Knight. Easily my favorite superhero movie of all time. Is it overrated? I watched it for the first time in a couple years. And that's what's cool about 4Ks as well, with the exception of the Men in Black. You actually get a Blu-ray copy too, which could be a reason why they kind of make the prices higher, is because you are getting a Blu-ray copy too. So if you've made the jump to 4K, just like when people made the jump from DVD to Blu-ray, you get a spare of the previous technology for free, or whatever, and you could actually give away that Blu-ray if somebody really wanted it. But I bought that movie, The Dark Knight. I had wanted it on Blu-ray for a while. Is it overrated? I don't feel that the movie's overrated. I think that the movie got blown up a bit because Heath Ledger's passing and all that after. I still think the performance holds up. I loved it, watched it in full. Looks phenomenal on Blu-ray, though I did see a lot of people online really go on about how this is the best 4K I've ever owned. No. It looks great. Like I said, it's a phenomenal looking movie already. The 4K makes it better, but I think some of my other 4Ks look better. That's just me. It's me. Newest addition to the 4K family is, of course, Deadpool 2. I mean, how could you not pick this up? A tremendous sequel. It even says the sequel to the first one. It's a tremendous sequel to the first one. Absolutely love this movie. Saw it in theaters. Okay, I have a different movie in here. But anyway, you get the Blu-ray and the 4Ks. It's actually a 3-disc, but I randomly have One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest in there. I'm not sure why I put that in there. So I think I actually was watching Deadpool 2 on 4K, and maybe I had that in there last. I don't know, people. I wasn't ready to make this video. I just randomly sat down and said I need to put some shit out for my loyal subs. I had to put something out for you guys. Picture quality, of course, is tremendous. It's a brand new movie. It looks great. Isn't a must-have for 4K? No, because it already is going to look great on regular Blu-ray, but it's probably a little cleaner on this. I don't know. Next up is John Wick 2. This is odd because I don't even own the first John Wick, but my dad bought this for me after I saw John Wick and really liked it. I borrowed the first one from him on standard Blu-ray. He bought me this one on 4K for Christmas last year. I haven't watched it, but I did throw in the very beginning and wanted to see how good it looks. Looks great on 4K. There you go. You got your Blu-ray and your 4K copies. You know, I have a lot of digital copies of these movies I could give away. Just saying. But it looks really cool. Now, next up in my collection is a controversial movie. I sometimes ask myself why I spent $32 on it after tax. And I actually kind of question why I even own this movie. It's kind of dusty. It should say something. Star Wars: The Last Jedi. I think you guys have heard everything that there is to hear about this movie. I don't can't remember if I put out a review on it. I don't think I did, but I'm still baffled as what the hell this movie was even supposed to be about. The decision making in this movie was fucking abysmal. It was terrible. But it looks great on 4K. You can polish a turd, but it's still a piece of shit. And I spent $32 on it. I'm a fanboy of Star Wars. Yeah, I had to own it. Come on. Come on. Okay, next up is Terminator 2 Judgment Day for 4K. Randomly found this at Walmart, and I was like, you know what? It's so random. I kept seeing it at Walmart, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna pick it up. Went ahead and bought it. Was not expecting much. Let me hide this. Was not expecting much out of this. I really like the disc, so look how good those look. It's really, really dope. Was not expecting much. This is gonna surprise you guys, maybe. But I think that out of this entire collection of movies, I think that this is one of, if not the best looking 4K in the collection. Believe it or not. I shit you not. This is a phenomenal looking movie. I could not believe how good it looked. I was like, dude, this looks like a 2018 release, not a, God, when did this come out? 1991? Anyway, it didn't look like a 90s movie. But guys, if you're kind of on the fence or thinking about this, absolutely. If you want to see what 4K can do, Terminator 2 is your baby. I've heard a couple people say they didn't really think it looked that great, but I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I thought it looked phenomenal. Next up is a fun movie. Cabin in the Woods. Got this at Black Friday last year. It was, I think I got it for like 10 bucks, which is really, really cheap for a 4K. So, you know, can't complain there. I didn't watch the full thing yet, but I did watch maybe the first 20 minutes. And yeah, I have to say, it looks really good on 4K as expected. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Excuse me. But yeah, this is probably one of the, this is probably one of the best deals I got. Like 10, I think I got this for 10 or 15, but even if I got it for the high 15, it's still pretty cheap. Now, the next one breaks my heart, and I have to rebuy this movie. I got, like, a bad disc or something. It played the first 2 times I threw it in the 4K to check it out. But this was actually the very first 4K I ever got. It was the first 4K I ever watched, and that's Goodfellas. But my copy doesn't work anymore. I don't know why. The disc looks clean, but every time I put it in, my Xbox just says, can't play the disc, bruh. And I'm really sad because I actually got this movie for free when I bought my Xbox. It was like a bundled thing, and you got a 4K movie for free, and this was the best 4K they had. I mean, I absolutely love this movie. So it came with a Blu-ray, which was cool because I didn't have a Blu-ray yet. But here's the 4K. It doesn't work. I have tried and tried and tried to get it to work. It doesn't work, but the couple times I watched it, it looked decent on 4K, but I wouldn't say it's worth the money. You know, I may rebuy this on 4K, but I'm not in a hurry. Like I said, it doesn't look tremendous on 4K. It's not something you have to have on 4K. Next up is a movie that I think that they really push as like the ultimate high definition, what do you call it? Experience. When Blu-ray came out, I remember this movie was like one of the first release, and people were like, oh my god, it looks amazing. And when 4K came out, same kind of deal. That's of course Independence Day. We're not talking about the abysmal piece of shit sequel. We're talking about the original, back when the movies were back where the movie was good, made sense. The sequel in my eyes does not exist because it was fucking trash. But this is pretty cool because it's actually a 3-disc set. You got the 4K in the front, and then you got Blu-ray and Blu-ray special features. So it's pretty dope. I already owned it on Blu-ray, but you know, this movie's cursed for me because I lost my DVD copy and I lost my Blu-ray copy. So now I have a 4K copy. I'm really hoping this doesn't go missing either. I got this for 20 bucks, which wasn't bad. It looks really good on 4K, by the way. Next up, one of my all-time favorite movies of all time is Saving Private Ryan. Saw this at Walmart, bought it instantly, didn't even think about it, just bought it. It was $20, which is a great deal considering the kind of film you're getting. I already knew 20 bucks was sold. I honestly think it could have been 29 and I still would have bought it. Here in the front you got the, what is that, the 4K? Yeah. That's the 4K, and then of course you got the Blu-ray and the Blu-ray special features. I actually already own this on Blu-ray, but I wanted to see how much better it looked on 4K. Looks great. Definitely a very beautiful movie on 4K. If you really want to push your 4K, get this. It's a good movie. Great movie. And it looks great on 4K. Next up, another gift from my father from last Christmas, Atomic Blonde with Charlize Theron. And what's his name? James McAvoy. This is a really cool movie. This, I think, was a sleeper movie of last year. It got good ratings, but people didn't really go on about it, and I rented it through, I think, Redbox, and I really liked it. So you got your Blu-ray copy, and of course your 4K copy. The movie looks tremendous on 4K. I actually just checked this out a couple weeks ago, and looks really good. And it's a great movie. Definitely cool. I wouldn't mind a sequel to that. Next up is one of my all-time favorite movies as well. None other than Bram Stoker's Dracula. This was also a 4K I got on, yeah, it was on Black Friday. I think I got this one for $15 at Best Buy. It's originally like $25. Get rid of all this stupid paper. You got your standard Blu-ray here, and then of course the 4K on this side, which is upside down, but you get the point. It looks really good. It cleans up pretty nicely on 4K. I wouldn't say it looks phenomenal or anything to that effect, but it looks good. Next up is a really cool collection piece I got. I had to buy it because I'm such a sucker for this movie. I've loved this movie. I've owned it on DVD. I never owned it on Blu-ray, but now I own it on Blu-ray and 4K. That's none other than E.T., another movie I randomly saw at Walmart when it first came out. I think they wanted 25. I think it was like 24.96 or something. And I said, I kind of hesitated. I waited a little bit, but the price wasn't going down, and it's like a collector's edition, which I really like. Yeah, it's a 35th anniversary edition. And I'm not saying it's rare by any means, but I wanted to get my hands on it before I had to order it. So, yeah, it looks really good on 4K. So this one's actually really cool. This set comes with the soundtrack. There's your list of your songs. Comes with a soundtrack. Comes with this here. This is a like a little book that it comes with, which is really cool, right? And I've actually read this, most of this. Comes with a little spaceship on the back that he leaves in the end of the movie. Spoiler alert. And then of course you got your standard 4K that you can actually buy this everywhere. They got this at Target, Walmart by itself. And then of course you got images on the back from the film. And then of course you got your standard Blu-ray and the piece you pay for, the 4K baby. Looks really good on 4K. Cleans it very nicely. Gets rid of a lot of the graininess that was very present in the DVD version. Like I said, I never owned the Blu-ray, standard Blu-ray, so I can't judge the standard Blu-ray. I'm sure it looked decent, but yeah, this really cleans up nicely on here. Okay. And last but definitely not least, this was the first full price 4K that I ever bought. Paid 30, I think 31, 32 attacks, and that's none other than the 2017 It. This is such a cool movie. I really was kind of on the fence about this. I didn't know how good it was going to look, but they did really good. So there's your Blu-ray, and there's your 4K, same exact disc art, so you don't get any special art with the 4K disc, which, who cares? It's cool. It's cool, but it looks really good on 4K. Definitely a good looking film, as it should be. And that's it for the collection, you guys. So, I would say my favorite out of those in terms of quality would probably be Terminator 2. Comes into my mind like that because it's such a good movie and the quality is so good. It cleans up really well. But that's my collection. I really like 4K. I think that certain movies should be waited on. I think you should wait for prices to come down on certain movies. There are some that have come to 4K that I would like to pick up, but when I see the price, I'm just like, bruh, why? Like, it's a cool technology, but that's what it is. It's a new technology, and they're looking to take you to the cleaners. So you can find good deals when you look. Black Friday is not far from now, so I will definitely be on the hunt in the future for more. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was very fun to do, went way longer than I expected. Hope you guys enjoyed. Any questions, leave them in the comments below. I'll see you guys in the next one, and of course, thanks for watching.